This morning for you on Daybreak, fires are still going on in Australia. We'll hear from a native who is watching their country burn from here.
And Senator Josh Hawley suggests dismissing the impeachment trial against President Trump. We'll explain the timeline he's proposing lawmakers should have before moving on.
Also, some new opportunities for those to work out at a local YMCA. We'll explain how coming up this hour for you on Daybreak.
Welcome back into the show. It's Tuesday, January 7th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
I'm Joe Murano, as we are still fawning over flying car technology. I tell you, the rides to work would be so much simpler, right?
Our rides to work at the early hours of the morning are pretty simple, but we know that's not the case for everyone out there.
Exactly, right? And what about flying school buses? Would that be too much of a hazard? Am I getting too far ahead, guys?
Those would be a lot of space up there.
Certainly would be. But meteorologist Lisa Raff is on board with it, right?
You're going to make fun of me for another cartoon reference, but wasn't the Magic School Bus a flying bus? Didn't Miss Frizzle have a flying
Well, it was magic. It shrunk, it flew, it did all that stuff.
It flew to outer space, didn't it?
Yeah, or like into veins so she can show kids what
that was shrinking.
See, they exist.
Education in cartoons, everyone. We don't have that for you this morning, unfortunately. We do have the weather, though, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit cold out there this morning. We still have some really smooth conditions where it's clear, it's dry, just a little bit cold, but then again, it is January, right? 31 degrees right now in Springfield with west winds at 9 miles per hour. We've got some dry roads and clear skies out there this morning. You'll have smooth sailing on your way to work and school. Temperatures are in the 30s. It's 31 in Springfield, 33 in Bentonville, and 36 degrees in Branson. Winds are out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll find some dry roads through the afternoon. Again, no really weather impacts on the roads. It's just going to be smooth sailing as you head out today. Even on your way home from school, we're looking at sunshine and temperatures very similar to yesterday at 52 degrees, which is very nice for January. It's actually about 10 degrees above average. Then things get interesting. We're looking at a fire danger for tomorrow. A big storm comes through by Friday and Saturday, bringing us both flooding and severe threats and maybe a wintry threat as well. It's a multi-hazardous, multifaceted storm. We've got many details on that coming up in 10 minutes.
New this morning, our local YMCA is working to remove fitness barriers for people with disabilities.
Caller 10's Nisha McDonald visited the Pat Jones YMCA to see the organization's efforts firsthand. Nisha.
Well, good morning, Joe and Lauren. It's now easier for people with all abilities to pursue a healthier lifestyle thanks to some new ADA equipment.
Annette Rowe works out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
To the point where I have to be really sick or hurt to not come in.
Rowe says her gym routine keeps her feeling good.
Don't want to get out of bed is not an excuse. Too tired is not an excuse. If I don't come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I am in a bad mood.
And thanks to some new equipment, people with all abilities can now work out alongside their peers.
That's what the community needs.
However, Rowe admits she wasn't on board for the changes initially.
At first, I wasn't too happy just thinking about it, but this is so cool.
And Rowe says she's looking forward to trying out each new piece of equipment.
I've had to have instruction on some of these because I didn't know how to use them, and there's a lot more.
And Pat Jones, YMCA Executive Director HALSTON Adams,
this is our lat pull down.
Says the equipment can be modified.
Just pull that pin.
Based on your ability level.
Be able to move this off to the side, be able to pull up a chair, and be able to sit and do the exact same motion.
HALSTON says
there's no difference between anybody that walks in our doors. We want everybody to feel like they are welcome when they walk in our doors.
A vision he tells me the YMCA stands by.
Well, the new equipment at Pat Jones YMCA is available to all gym goers during the center's normal hours of operation.
All right, thank you, Nisha. In our political coverage now, Senator Josh Hawley introduced a resolution to dismiss the impeachment trial yesterday on Capitol Hill. He says Nancy Pelosi is taking too long to hand over those articles of impeachment to the Senate for trial. He said this is the longest delay in American history in providing notice to the Senate to move forward, and told members of the Senate it was obvious House Democrats wanted to impeach the president but did not actually want a trial. His plan would limit the House of Representatives to 25 days after articles of impeachment are adopted to take them to the Senate. If the House does not abide by that, the Senate would then be able to introduce a motion to dismiss for lack of prosecution.
It is time to update the Senate's rules to account for this unprecedented attempt at obstruction, at denial, at delay. It is time for the Senate to act.
10 senators co-sponsored this, including Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton.
As high temperatures and drought conditions have allowed massive wildfires to continue to burn in Australia, firefighters are working around the clock to try and save as much as they can. At least 25 people and an estimated 500 million animals have died so far. Right now, the fires are mostly on the coast, but the majority are burning on the southeast side of the continent, near New South Wales and Victoria. Color 10 spoke to a local resident from Australia who talks about the devastation.
There's a lot of talk about koala bears and all the animals that have been affected, and they have been affected in a major way. They're not a fast animal; they can't just get out of the way. They live in trees, and it's the trees that are burning, and and they're saying that they could become endangered.
Local fire agencies report very high fire dangers again today and tomorrow.
Around the Ozarks, Marionville's only pharmacy has to repair damage now after someone rammed a stolen truck through the building and stole drugs. Police were called to the scene just after 1:30 yesterday morning. Pharmacy manager MITZI Owens says the suspect had to crawl through a hole in the brick to get inside. The person got away after stealing narcotics, and they do have security footage of the crime.
Drugs are the devil, you know. It's just addiction is a terrible thing, and shame on you. You know, get help and get your addiction under control and learn to live a life that's fulfilling and not tearing down and destroying other lives, because this is not just affecting my boss, but the whole community and the employees. You know, it's not a good thing.
The pharmacy was closed yesterday but will be open today.
The city of Kabul, is suing Dairy Farmers of America. This lawsuit claims a DFA plant is regularly releasing untreated wastewater into the Big Piney River. According to the news leader, Kabul wants more than $1 million in reimbursement because the city says right now it has to spend its own money to treat the problem. Meanwhile, the University of Arkansas adds new signage at the crosswalk where a student was struck by a car and killed back in February. The goal of the speed reader is to get drivers to pay attention and slow down in that area. It's in addition to signs and lights that were already there at the time of the accident. On February 2nd, freshman Andrea Torres was hit by a driver while walking through the crosswalk and died 2 days later.
We've got some dry roads and clear skies on that Color 10 Live drive this morning. Things are smooth sailing for you, just a little bit cold. It's 31 degrees in Springfield. Grab the gloves. A quiet day ahead, then things get a little bit messy by the end of the week. Your forecast is next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Murano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.